Real reviews, live and unapologetic. New episodes every Thursday at 8 at vvclife.com.
This episode is brought to you by our Patreon members. Sign up right now, patreon.com/VVCLife. And thank you to all of the patrons that have already signed up and are supporting us right now.
No ticket.
Recorded EP. Walk into that label. Get $1 million deal.
Hey, I brought some bad bitches from the 305 with me.
It's baked and ready to come out the oven. Okay, ding.
Baby, right back in it, right back in it. I heard the West needed a little rain. Drip, drip.
I know the shit with Raina is a lot.
Let's make an Oreo.
You're just stupid. It's really stupid.
It's 3 bad bitches.
No, it's too bad.
All right, we are back. You know what I'm saying? We are doing Rap Shit Season 2 mid-season review. I got the gentleman in the building. I got Dead Panther on deck. We got Eddie in the building. And your man Podzilla is on deck. We're going to make it happen. All right, so today we're talking about another Issa Rae invention, another Issa Rae production. I don't know how we wrap this up, how wrap it around in your head. So, gentlemen, you guys saw season 1. You know, kind of give me like an idea of how you enjoyed season 1. Coming out of it.
For me, season 1 coming out of it, I was very impressed. You know what I'm saying? We all being creative, especially just when you come from the music aspect of it. You know, we know what it's like to have to conform to some things to try and at least get that foot in the door. You know what I mean? And so I felt like it was very well executed. You know, I felt like the characters were very, very well written as far as, you know, some of their contradictions and some of their personalities. And I was looking forward to jumping into the second season.
Word, Dead Panther.
I think Lingo hit on all the right spots on there. You connected with the characters immediately. And for me, who's just a music listener, you know, not knowing the business, not knowing the deep ends that are creative, you kind of wonder why some of your favorite artists kind of go through their struggles and why they're not who they were when they started in XYZ. So to see some elements of that, and there's tons more of elements behind the scenes, made me excited to see season 2.
Facts. For me, it was definitely this is huge for me because I don't feel like people have any understanding of what happens when you are independent, you're a nobody, and you're honing your craft, or you're trying to just trying to create something out of nothing. When you're trying to, and when you say create something out of nothing, I'm not just talking about records. You're trying to create a persona. You're trying to create a fan base. You're trying to create a sound. There's so many things that have to be built out of nothing to become what everybody ends up being a fan of. And this particular show really kind of gives you the journey of a young girl, a young lady, excuse me. She's in her 20s. She had a situation at one point, was working with a guy. They part ways. The guy becomes, a notable producer, and she's, back working a job out of college, still trying to figure it out. And this story kind of takes off after she meets another young lady, and they make a record just kind of out of happenstance to just having some fun, getting drunk, fucked up, and hey, we just do something. And then it gets out, and then it starts catching fire. And then how do you handle it from there? Like, that is a phenomenal story. Issa Rae takes pretty much the same exact team she used for the Insecure show. When you watch Rap Shit, you will see the familiarities of the type of beat shots that are created, the type of camera setups, even the character types have a lot of similarities if you really think about it. There are definitely a lot of parallels and then even her having the group of main characters that she had and their personality types or whatever. But and that was an initial thing that I kind of popped out at me in the beginning, but I soon, as I started watching season one, I saw how rap shit becomes its own thing. Even integrating social media into it and how important social media is. You know what? I'm still arguing on even the value of having social media as a part of your growth process as an artist. I think they show in a well balanced way the good and the bad sides. How good it is to have social media on your side, but then how social media influences decision making, how it causes more problems than it can help sometimes, and how it can be very destructive. If you don't have control of your own things. So anyway, let's get into the highs and lows of season 2. Gentlemen, how do we go about doing this, man? Like how okay. I'm just gonna ask a series of questions and guys want you guys to answer.
All
Number
right.
one, storyline. How do you feel like 1 through 5 season 2 storyline? Do we feel like it's good storyline, bad storyline? And do you feel like it is evolving or growing the characters in the appropriate way? Dad Panther, go first.
I'm gonna say I'm liking the storyline for where we're at in the midpoint. There were some things that they opened up, and I'm not gonna try to spoil anything, but things that they opened up in that first season. Pictures or images, you saw that. And if you're from Miami, if you're from a city that you got to hustle and you got to do stuff, you didn't have to understand what they were dropping. You saw an image of something, you said, "This is an opportunity. I know what this is." And to watch that kind of go for that first season and see the eggs and see what's hatching in this one, they continue to do that with other characters and other things. And it also makes you sit back and say to yourself, like, what would you do as an artist? So as far as that story and them being able to branch out, and we've talked about meaningful branching out stuff from, go check episodes about Invincible. I think in that short period of time, this is what, 30, 38 minute episodes. And it has that feel like Ballers. It has that feel like some of these bigger, longer shows. So I'm there for the stories.
Word. Eddie.
Yeah, so for me, the storytelling season 2, I think, and this is just the writer in me. At first, if you would ask me on the first few episodes, I see it soaring and still climbing. But I think now they are worried about, they're probably getting pressed for already needing like 2 or 3 more seasons because of its success. So I feel like it's about to plateau. I feel like, especially after this 5th episode, we're the elevation of these girls in the industry is about to either stall or just go through a whole lot more BS. And of course, that's good storytelling. We don't want everything all at once, but I was looking forward to the continuous progression, because I felt like even though they're running into stuff, or there's people that seem like they're hating or that not really for them, that stuff opportunities keep coming. So I wanted to keep seeing the growth. But after this last episode, I feel like they're gonna start focusing on more of the relationships and stuff, and it's going to plateau, and we got to wait till next season or at the end of the season to get a big moment of growth, and wait till next season to continue the growth. So I got mixed feelings on the storytelling with this season.
I agree with you. I think that there is a lingering issue from season 1 that is carrying into season 2 that doesn't have a resolve but got pushed to the background, which I don't understand. It's such a big issue to just be like, we'll just ignore it. I feel like that's gonna be a big thing. But there's a big part of me that goes, why did you even put that in there? I don't even really feel like it was necessary. I feel like honestly, it's an element that should have been resolved in season 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then not carrying it into season 2. But I'm thinking that they have planned out a bigger story arc of, I feel like, hey, they're gonna end up they're gonna get to a certain point and it's gonna completely derail them. So am I feeling the writing is good for this season, because I am seeing the character development. You are getting to see them learn how to, the core group of girls, are finally learning how to respect each other, to act like adults, and to get used to being a group, and each person respecting the other person's place in it and not second guessing it. Because for whatever reason, I mean, because they are all really still freshly becoming friends, freshly becoming professionals. You know what I mean? And two of them don't have nothing, they don't know nothing about music, and the one girl comes in with more experience and she just assumes that I'm the boss because I know more about it, and you just as naive as the other two. So like, I like the fact that they're all three of them are being humbled in the season amongst themselves, but they're learning how to be more confident out in public. Yeah, I definitely feel like both of them are gravitating to emotional connections because of, I think, financial. I think all of them are like, yo, let me use my vagina, whether it's a forefront thought process or a back brain process, to, all right, let me latch on to this guy because it could open up this door, or let me latch on to that guy because of this. And then there's the other component of depression, because all of them are suffering from depression in a different way. And instead of them, and that's the crazy part, like the more I watch this, I'd be like, why aren't y'all talking more? Like, why aren't y'all folding within each other and going, look, yo, we got to learn how to work together. We got to learn how to work this together. It seems like even when they get back on a good page, they kind of really just getting along.
Act like
They're
it never happened.
right. And then they'll just be like, move on. And I'm like, y'all should be writing songs. Y'all should be focusing on developing your own routines. You should be I mean, like, there's so much. And they keep worrying about, oh yeah, somebody gonna give us a deal. Give you a deal for what? Y'all got a couple records, but y'all don't even really have a sense. Like, I think it's even funny that they don't have a group name. It's Shauna and blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
No one
what?
said anything. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's another example of how much they don't have it together. And it's funny because nobody has called them out on it at this point. And I think that's weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even in passing conversation, it should have been, well, yo, so who the fuck are y'all? Like, all right, so what's the name of the group? And they always trying to me. And nobody has said, yo, that's dumb. Y'all need a name. Like, yo. And
I thought it was going to come up. Sorry, I thought it was going to come up with the Spotify episode. I thought somebody, an executive, was going to say, okay, so what's your name? Da da da.
Right.
No, what's your name? Who's your manager? Oh, honey, you got so much to learn, type of stuff. And no, they made it to another award type of thing, and I'm like, there's no one checking nobody.
Nobody's checking nobody. The DJ even asked them in the last the episode before last, when they was doing that backyard party, and it was just like, yeah, what was your name? It's Sean Amer. He's like, all right, Sean Amer. You know what I mean? It's just like, nobody at no point in time pulled them to the side. Look, hey, goofy bitches, you need a name. Like, you know what I mean? Figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? So, to me, that's just another prime example of, and I feel like it was done intentionally to kind of be unwritten kind of like, yo, they're not together yet. They haven't become a group yet. It's still two individual people, kind of trying to thug it out. They haven't really, they decided to be a group, but they ain't decided. They really decided we're going to get this together. They haven't decided to be a group or a duo or whatever you want to call it. I think the manager is coming along the way any manager would. Like, it's, unless you have mentorship, you just gonna figure it out as you hit. You're gonna run into walls full speed. You're gonna make mistakes. Things are gonna happen. You're trying to figure out how to stand firm and represent for your people in the right ways. And I think they did a phenomenal job of showing how much gray area exists in the music industry. There is no specific one thing. Yo, sometimes your manager do a bunch. Sometimes your manager don't do nothing at all. Like, sometimes this person has more control than this person. Sometimes everybody's just battling it out just to figure it out. That's just real life. I don't give a fuck how big or how small the situation, how successful you are. There's so many gray areas where so many things are up in the air, and you have opposing forces with different ideologies and different ways of doing things that people are going to bump heads. Like, the same way the guy is a producer and he put this tour together, He's technically not their manager, but he's playing the manager role because he's trying to stay involved with these two because he knows I can get a check. These chicks don't know what they're doing. I can probably see. He'll tell them, I'm gonna get you $1 million, but he'll probably end up being the guy in charge of the budget. I got you $1 million. Here's 100,000 for you, and here's 100,000 for you, and I'm gonna hold on to the rest to record your album. Oh yeah, you're gonna record in my studio. Yo, I'm gonna make the beats. So next thing you know, they're gonna be like, "What happened to the million?" Oh yeah, that was I needed that to do your wardrobe. I needed that. He's gonna take all that money for himself, and it's gonna be rightfully so.
360 deal.
It's gonna be crazy, and then they're gonna be arguing about because then the managers got to get a cut of what the girls get. So they not necessarily they might not if they get the $1 million deal, they gonna get 100,000 a piece. Then the manager's gonna come in and at the least you're gonna get 20% or 15 or 10%. So what's 10% of 100,000? That's 10 grand between two girls. Now she come up with 20 stacks and they got 90. That's gonna be a problem, especially considering how much money she's spending to keep them afloat. So then it's, you know what I mean? So like, it's a lot to it, bro. And I love this show. I love that it's being very realistic. There are moments that I get annoyed that they are girls, but then I have to be like, they're girls. It's real. I mean, like the petty infighting and some of the dumb decisions that they make. I get it. You're girls. The whole thing that they leaning on, we MIA and the Miami girls. It's all about scamming and this and that and the third. I hate that concept too.
That's 100% accurate. My sister is exactly like that. That show is my sister.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
Not everybody has that. There's a different way to hustle. Like, and that's the thing about Shauna's character, where it was like you saw the fact of, hey, this is what she's about, and you see her kind of getting pulled, and she's exactly who she's going against with Rain, where it's like, you're not real and authentic to yourself either. And I get you got to conform to make this money, but at least she knows she's playing this game and Shauna doesn't know. And then to go back to what you said before about like someone like me who doesn't understand the industry at all, wouldn't even think of these gray areas. Without spoiling anything, the last episode, there's a character that is almost painted as a bad guy. And I'll give you like the idea of, choosing girls for the groupies. That's that guy. And watching this final episode, and literally you're like, wait a minute, this person probably played a bigger role behind the scenes that we don't even know that happens. Once you start thinking of every time you saw this individual with this individual rapper, you're like, oh snap, I didn't think about that element in the rap game or music.
There's so much, and there's so many reasons why so many things take place. Like when people say, I meet artists all the time, and they say, I don't need a manager. But it's like they don't understand by having anybody in front of you just claiming to be a manager, your money goes up 30%. Period. Just off of just saying and putting somebody in front of you and just saying, you want to know why? Because from a business perspective, if I'm looking at you as an individual and you say, I want you to come do poetry at my event. And you say, I want $300. You're going to be like, for what, nigga, 300? Just do a couple of joints. But when you say, you can't talk to me, you have to talk to my manager. And then the manager comes along and say, hey, I represent this artist. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're going to need to make sure our hair and nails are done. I mean, excuse me, we got to get my man's haircut. We got a rental car. He's going to bring out a 1-2-piece band. See, a manager can come and explain stuff and say, it's going to cost you $300. And you go, oh, okay, that makes sense. Versus you just standing there by yourself trying to, I got to get my hair cut and all that. It comes off arrogant when you doing it, talking to somebody, trying to get some money. But when you have somebody else come, it's like, oh shit, you got somebody that represents you and all this other stuff. Oh yeah, all right. It's business. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of times artists don't understand that. And then even just separating church and state. You know what I mean? It's just it's so necessary. Meaning that the religion of music shouldn't have nothing to do with the business side because it affects how you make decisions. An artist should be able to stay in their creative space while feeling protected and being taken care of. And then it's a manager's job to help them maintain that bubble, but to also fight for their best interest because their best interest is your best interest. So and I feel like a lot of times people don't really understand that. In this show, you're seeing everybody, and this is very true. You have a group of people that all want to get out of the situation that they're in, and they're looking at this as the opportunity to get the fuck out. The problem is, and this was another thing that makes it very realistic, is that I see this in my own community. I see this because I still work in the industry. Black people have a horrible time working together. because they have it is hard to communicate. A lot of Black people were never taught how to communicate their emotions, communicate what their issues are without everything turning into an argument or a blow up. It's like we all, and as a receiver of information, like we have to learn how to not take everything personal. If somebody say I need something, it shouldn't be taken as an attack or as you trying to take from me. It's like, no, this person's communicating what they need, and we have to find a way where both people can be compensated or taken care of so that we can move to the next level. So like I'm happy to see this, man. I'm super happy. You know what I mean? And there was a part of me that was like, man, it would have been cool for it to be dudes, but I love to see that journey with these two girls. Like I think it's such a dope ass idea. You're gonna keep people watching, people like me. Oh, I like both of them, boy. Them thick chocolate girls. Woo, Lord Jesus Christ. Whoa, that keeps me eyeball. If it was two niggas,
Absolutely.
I don't think I would have been as glued to this if it was two guys. But because it's two fine ass girls, yeah. And I love the fact that both of them are imperfect but perfect. Like, because the one girl is damn near overweight. She's like right at that point where she's about to be overweight, and then the other one is
That's subjective. That's subjective.
No, yeah, I'm about to say if I had to pick Shauna all day.
Yeah.
All day. The moment I seen her clocking in at work, I would have clocked in right beside her. So, what's up,
But
Tom?
it's twisted. I'm marrying that. I'm just saying that like she's like right there on the borderline. Like she's about to be a big girl for real. You know what I'm saying?
She could have another 10, 15 pounds. I'll take care of it.
Word.
Don't worry.
But yeah, let me get out of it and let everybody else. Is there anything else y'all wanted to add to the discussion? Because I don't want to monopolize things.
No, I wanted to add on the writing aspect. That's the one thing that I love and respect, but it also annoys me at the same time. But it's accurate, so you got to respect it. That whole the problem with communication, like you're saying, you know, that episode where they went to New York and Buddy did her dirty. She never expressed that she was going through some shit, but she wanted everybody to be like, you never asked me what was wrong. Like, actually, I did, and then you didn't want to talk about it, so I left it alone, and you didn't bring it back up until shit not going your way, and now you pissed. You know what I'm saying? They keep having these dumb moments where they're not communicating, but they expect everybody to know what they're feeling. But that is how people are reality. They also super all about, you know, I'm Miami, bitch, and that's just that. And so that's supposed to mean something when in reality, it don't mean I'm from Miami, and I love the, you know, that we take pride in our shit, but realistically, that ain't elevating y'all stock, you know, value just because you're a Miami bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that is the mentality out there. So it's accurately pushed. And so, and also one of the things that I love in the writing because it's accurate, but I also absolutely annoys me is they keep taking small victories as if they fucking made it.
Yeah.
And they keep end up having to be humbled after every situation, especially Shauna, because no matter how much she keep wanting to call people out on their exploitation or whatever, she did the same shit to get here, and then she keeps forgetting that. And that's it drives me crazy. Or she expects people to, like when she was in the industry party and they was about looking for ratchet hoes to go be able to do it and playing the stupid ass game. Once she realized it was bullshit, she should have just got up and left instead of trying to, you know, get people to join her side on what's right and what's wrong. It's like, you know, the manager chick had to tell her who's one of my favorite characters in her growth. Anyway, the manager chick does Chastity, that's her name. Yeah. She had to tell her, she's like, yo, you in the rap game, niggas gonna be misogynistic and they're gonna be sexist. Like, you know, nobody holds them accountable. That's who these niggas are. That's the industry that it's been, you know, that's how it's built up. So you can't come in here expecting everybody to just have a certain perspective or hear you out. You know, you basically like a random coming in here with that thought process. And so I love how they're writing it, but it also drives me crazy as I watch it.
So imagine me living that real life and that being reality. That's real. That is so real. Like I know a whole bunch of losers in Baltimore who are phenomenal creatives, but they will never be shit. And I use this joking term from back in the day when I was a kid. I said we trying to avoid making living room hits. And niggas would always laugh, ha 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 ha. And I'd be like, nah, for real. Like, you don't get on all of them dope records you got. Y'all only gonna play them in your living room. Ain't nobody gonna take them nowhere. Like it ain't gonna take you to no high heights. And it's a lot of dudes, like you said, they'll have one good show where they get a standing ovation, and then next thing you know, they sunglasses and yeah, yo, I'm that nigga, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I need $300 a show. Like, nigga, you literally just paid to go on stage last night. Now yo, and then when ain't nobody. Then you come along, you might want to do some business with them. Yeah, yo, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. I don't need to listen to you. Like, I've literally had young kids in their 20s tell me, I would be like, yo, y'all should really watch this documentary about Wu-Tang Clan. I'm like, yo, they talked about some business. I ain't watching them old niggas, man. Them old niggas don't know shit. And I'm like, you mean this super successful multi-platinum group that have been touring for the last 30 years off of their music? They don't have any value. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I've had multiple, I'm talking about artists be egotistical. Like, bro, it's the reality. And it comes from, you have a bunch of kids who never got no attention, who are not used to getting love, who are, you know what I'm saying, this is the first time that they've ever been good at something or respected for something or appreciated, and they've been wanting it their whole life. So now that they're getting it, you give them any feeding into that, they head get big, yo. They think they the greatest thing, and then like they think that it's gonna last forever. I'm here now, and it's gonna last forever. And I be telling niggas like, if you can't continue to go up, people are gonna stop. Because guess what? Somebody else is gonna come along. There's always gonna be a new record. There's always going to be a new group. There's always going to be a new rapper, a new singer. Somebody's always going to come along. There's always going to be a little kid that's going to have a different idea, a different vibe, and they're going to come and they're going to smash it. And I said, all it take is for one person to really be properly managed, and they're going to skate past you so fast. And if you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't have a group of people around you to support you and to keep you motivated, you're going to fade off into the night. That's the reality of it. So like I am excited to see this story. I would love to see it fail, like the group fail. I would love to see that and them go back to being regular people, and like that being the real story of, yeah, this is how most rap stories end. Yeah, you come, you get it popping, you move around a little bit, some shit happens, and guess what? Your head get too big, you stop listening to people, and you all start making a bunch of bad decisions, or you stop coming to the studio because you chilling and smoking weed all day. You don't want to do shows now, or you come drunk and high, and people stop booking you, and then next thing you know, you selling drugs and you go to jail, or hey, guess what? You get pregnant and you have a kid, and now you can't go on tour and you ain't got the money, and then a million stories. So anyway, it's up to y'all, man. Would y'all like to continue to follow this series to the end of the season, or how y'all want to do it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, like I said, I it's a love-hate thing for me, and that's really a credit to how good the show is, because it is, like you said, it's realistic. But that unfortunately for me, that drives me crazy that our people are like that. But I want to see where it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing the third. I'm a big fan of Issa Rae, and I feel like she is tapped into her market. She knows how to write people. She's giving us that reality, and I want to keep going with the story.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. All right, let's get to this rating system so we can get the fuck up out of here. All right, what's your rating so far? Season 2, episodes 1 through 5. Eddie, let's get you to start this time, brother. What's your rating?
My rating right now is good watch. Good watch. I think it's the girls are getting somewhere, and they the small victories, you know what I'm saying? But after the way this episode ended, I'm worried the whole story is about to shift plateau, so I'm leaving it at good watch.
Got you. Dad Panther, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. What's your rating for this for 1 through 5 season 2 rap shit?
I'm gonna go the same thing with Lingo. I'm gonna say it's a good watch. There's nothing against it. It's got great music. It's shot well. I can't say enough about the cast. Everybody, they made a little Easter egg about anime, and it's funny because one of the characters is the main character in a Netflix anime. So I think it's really good to see these stories. I would be interested in if they did spinoffs and different genres, but yeah, I'm gonna ride this to the wheels fall off.
It's an R&B shit, country
That's
shit.
if she would have called it, or the team would have called it music, they could have, done different stuff, almost like a Marvel universe. You'll see Mia and Shauna, and they kind of doing their thing, and then you switch over another season, do R&B or something. I don't know, but I'm here for it.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, my rating for this is classic. It's a freaking classic. Don't know what you guys are talking about. It's up there at the top of the list, Playboy. And I know the only reason why I did it like that is because I used to be an artist, so like a lot of it is it resonates with me. I watch episodes and I be having flashbacks and I be having little moments, and you know what I mean. So like, yeah, it's definitely one of those things for me. So I'd highly recommend this to friends, family, anybody. Well, anybody over the age of 18. There is a considerable amount of nudity and some very, very hot and steamy sex scenes where you see these beautiful women bear it all for the camera, and we say thank you Ray, for forcing these women to get naked
and damn
sleep with men. What?
You said she forcing them.
Damn. Somebody's PR marketing.
It's part of your contract. You got to. Can't be out here and not get naked.
Watch, she gonna be sitting there with the team right now. I want nothing. Go get me the guys who put together Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
The second half of this, I just want to see him swinging it. That's I don't know why.
Yo, that's it.
Right. Well, think about it. What would he do on the first episode they return back for the midseason? It's Cash just bearing everything. And he was like, hey, I'm just the supplier. And then goes into it. You're like, oh, that's shots fired.
Oh, Lord Jesus, I'm tired of you, boy. I'm out of here. All right. Make sure y'all drop your comments below. I'm out of here. I'm sick of y'all niggas. I'm out of here. We check y'all next week. Don't forget, Thursday, 7 p.m. 8
p.m. Candy Cane Lane.
There you go. And then
How the Grinch Stole Christmas 1966 animation.
Yeah, we see y'all next time. Peace.
No ticket.